Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the messenger, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion. That is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who are the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to demand you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become. In being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 392nd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Crammond, and I'll be your host today. And we are hosting members and support members of the Universal Council who are presenting today's workshop. So let me get that ready here and let us begin. I think we have Mark or Dean for our introduction here.
I don't see Dean, so welcome everyone to the beautiful work of the Keshe Foundation. Actually, a lot of the work in the background is going on through the Keshe Foundation, and as we heard in this video, it's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And now, as Mr. Keshe said, he's put the change on the table. And of course, what is the real work of the universe? He said they're going to deliver what the universe didn't deliver to this planet. And we all have an opportunity to participate in this process. In a way, it's a gift. So the real work of the universe, it didn't actually provide what this planet needed. And so fields of peace and love are going to be implanted in communication systems and in satellites, even though it's a compromise. As he said, we need the full plasma system, but it will still work, or maybe we're being fed in a watered down system. But the beauty of it is we all have an opportunity to participate in bringing the system that's already developed and that's already on the table. And we're going to cover a lot of that today. And of course, I think it starts with an ID card. And this is available on the Keshe Foundation store. And then, of course, there needs to be a network. So to get into that network, you'd obviously need an ID card. There's a game being produced, or final touches being put on it, called Enlightenment Game, where you teach yourself to be peaceful in a way, plus you can earn a living out of it. We also have the Keshe coin, which will cover the cosmic ray material. And this is all, in a way, combined with the store. And of course, this is the way, sharing of the technology, this is one of the ways the change will come. So is humanity ready for it? He's asked us this question many times. Are the knowledge seekers ready for it? Because he said it's our responsibility as knowledge seekers, and I would imagine that's why we're all here as knowledge seekers, to bring the change. If he puts it in the hand of the governments, but he did mention a couple governments in Africa starting to trade on this system or work through this system without their currency, the governments will dump it at this point. So it's up to us to bring it, and this is the call, and we have a window of opportunity. So let's see if the knowledge seekers are ready to bring the change. And hopefully through this elevation, the elevation of the soul, more and more people will be enlightened and see this is the way it's going to be delivered. Again, I couldn't even imagine how to convert digital to plasma or to embed a system like this in the communication or the satellites, but we know someone who can, with the technology to do it and bring the change and, in a way, fulfill what the universe didn't provide to this planet, which it should have provided. So maybe this is the real work of the universe, to bring balance, to bring love, to bring peace, and the rest of this, that we all start to move away from the idea of killing and destroying and giving, to giving and nurturing. So thank you all for being here. Again, we're humbled and privileged at the same time. I don't think we even realize the depths of what we're involved in. So thank you all for your time, your presence, and your service to the big community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark. In our next section here, we have the wishes from the Universal Council. And I'll just note to our attendees here that each wish will have a full minute of silence after the wish is verbalized, and you can use that to initiate the wish and to activate it. So let's begin. I think we start with Miranaz. Yeah, since Miranaz is not.
She's here. She's just coming in late. Sorry.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you.
We, the Universal Council, wish for financial support, all work for the Keshe Foundation and Mark Ray Corporation to be distributed accordingly as one planet, one nation, one race.
Beautiful wishes, my dear beautiful souls. We, the Universal Council, elevate all souls in existence to understand the process of new creation, new timeline, and new all of us. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve permanent and lasting peace.
Next, we have the connection between souls with Stefania. Are you available, Stefania?
She's here as a panelist.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me properly, or I switch to?
No, sounds good at this point.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mark, for the introduction, Sweta. Yes, so good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I'm Stefania. I'm representing the Universal Council for the Italian language. We're going to do the soul connection. And the soul connection, we put in practice exactly what Mr. Keshe taught us in the last teaching, where we are all connected. We have like a common denominator, and we all connected. So in this soul connection, we practice this line of communication that it's done by the soul level. So I'm gonna say it in Italian as well. This is the center. The center, it's refer for us towards our soul, because as you know, you cannot steal from yourself. So you have to, in order to be able to give to others, you have to give to yourself first, because if you don't give to yourself first and you give to other, means you're stealing from your own self. So it's not really truly giving, it's actually taking. So you have to fill up you have to fill up yourself with unconditional love first. And this center, it can help you to do so. So I love you, my soul. I love you, and I love you with I love with you, and I adore you. So this is something that for some people maybe is not easy to do. For some people, it's very hard to love themselves, or for some people, it's easy to take care about others, but they never look after themselves. And this is it's not the right way. The right way that even for peace, if we want to have a peace in the world, we have to have a peace inside us. Peace inside us means not just when you are in a nice place and the life is nice and everything is beautiful, but can you have peace even when you are in the middle of argument, or when you're in the middle of a chaos, or in the middle of a war, or you are with people you don't like? You know, we should be able to hold the peace, or when you're in pain, we should be able to hold the peace all the time, 24/7, inside us. And then once we have reached that peace inside us, only then you can then find peace in your family, with your friends, in your neighborhood, and there's a ripple effect, for the whole world. So it's very important that each one of us start to love themselves, take care of themselves, and love their soul. As we know, the soul is the center, energy center, and we see all these lovely graphics that Mr. Keshe showed us to back up the theory. It's not just up in the air. Now with the graphic, we can see that it's pure. You can see it's pure science. So there is a science behind. Is a fact. So as he said in the last teaching, the humankind really start to get to know their soul properly. They start to know that the energy center is inside us. We have this connection with the creator that inside us, and we don't have to go to look for it anywhere else or outside of ourselves. You don't need to travel miles. You don't need to go into places. Everything you need is inside you. So this is what we're learning more and more with this teaching. So, and also we need to learn by doing. And the soul connection is a way to learn by doing. And I noticed, speaking about myself, I don't know, because we're doing all this transmutation session, or because we get elevated, like Mr. Keshe saying, in a very fast way. Everything will start to make more meaning. Everything you do, even this soul connection, the beginning for some people can be just abstract, because we stay quiet and we connect. We don't think, because when you think, you are not at the soul level, because you're into your mind. You are into the physical body. When you're in your soul, you don't talk. We feel. We gone into the state of inner peace. So I noticed we've been doing now this connection for quite a while, and I noticed that it started to make more sense for me. I really feel the connection with the other soul now. So what I'm doing is start to have a meaning for me. Maybe some of you have this naturally. Maybe someone you already doing it already for many, many years. But other people maybe listening now, they never done before, and it seems like nothing. So to those people, I recommend be patient, just keep doing, keep practice. And one day, out of the blue, you will start feel something. And whatever you feel, the feel will grow. And as the feel grow and the sensation grows, the understanding also become more clear. So I just invite you to practice. And like every important things, like we see the sun rising every day, or the moon every day, so the most important things are done daily. Even this soul connection is very important, because it's something that we go inside us, we can cultivate it. So it has to be practiced every day. And here we go. So I'm gonna speak in Italian. What I suggest, even if you're in a situation where now there is chaos around you, no problem. You don't have to be in a quiet place. If you can be in a quiet place, you're lucky. But if you are in the middle of the road, in the middle of chaos, no problem. It's a good way to practice. You just we're gonna take a few minutes where you're not gonna think. You're just gonna connect and just feel the connection with all of us, because we are all connected, and we're all over the world now that we are connecting. So unknowingly or knowingly, we're making this grid, invisible grid, that it's there already, but with this connection, we kind of become more aware of it. So enjoy. If you can, please try not to think about anything. If you can recall a feelings of love of something, someone when you feel when you see someone you really love. Can be your son, can be daughter, can be your dogs, can be your partner. If you can replicate that feelings of when you love someone really, really deeply, and not think that it's really good in the soul connection, it will really help you to connect better. So enjoy. Ok, adesso parlo in italiano, perché questa connessione viene fatta in italiano, perché io sono italiana, e a livello dell'anima, se parlo nella mia lingua nativa, la connessione in qualche modo è più naturale. E quindi se capisci l'italiano e mi capisci, adesso ci mettiamo comodi e ci connetteremo a livello dell'anima. Per favore non pensare a niente. Se riesci a replicare la sensazione dell'amore infinito, dell'amore che hai magari per i tuoi figli o per i tuoi genitori o per il tuo cane, se riesci a replicare questa sensazione, ti aiuterà a stare nel sentire. Staremo così per qualche minuto ed è una pratica che ci serve molto perché ci aiuta a praticare questa connessione che c'è sempre, ma però diventerai più consapevole di questa connessione. Ok, iniziamo adesso, quindi buona connessione. Ok, adesso piano piano potete aprire gli occhi e, ehm, ritornare a quello che stavate facendo prima e spero che avete sentito qualcosa e se non avete sentito niente non vi preoccupate, continuate a praticare e prima o poi sentirete qualcosa anche voi e quella è la connessione che abbiamo tra di noi e questo è un strumento che è molto potente perché nessuno può interferire con questo e quindi è una cosa che dobbiamo coltivare e che diventeremo sempre più bravi e che potremo poi utilizzare per tante cose. Ok, spero che vi è piaciuto e vi ringrazio. Um, okay, now you slowly can open your eyes and slowly come back to what you were doing. I hope you felt something, but do not worry if you didn't feel anything. Not to worry, it's perfectly normal. Um, if you are patient with practice, eventually you will start to feel this connection. So I feel very lucky because I start to feel it. So even now, we didn't spend much time, but the moment we start connecting, I really felt this energy inside me moving inside. And I could really feel, I can notice I can feel better, I can see better. So I can really start to now feel the power of what we are doing. But we are very lucky because we are being involved with the transmutation session, with the cosmic ray, with soul connection. We as a knowledge seeker, we are very lucky because we've been exposed to this additional energy from the universe, thanks to the plasma technology, thanks to Mr. Keshe, thanks to people like Mr. Keshe, that they want us, make us progress forward faster in a fast way. So as you can see, some of us, I'm sure they felt the connection in a deeper way. So if you didn't, no problem. Just keep doing it, keep practice, and you have to do 1,000 times, 10,000 times, and then you will feel it. The good news, because as I said, we have the cosmic ray, we have the plasma technology, the guns. We are progressing much, much faster than if we wouldn't have this tool with us. This is something that we go inside us, that we can use. No one can interfere with it. We can do lots of stuff with it. We can elevate the world leaders. We can heal ourselves. We can be the creator of our own life. We can activate the vital energy inside us. We would be able to live longer. So we got so many applications that we can use this knowledge. And the good news, it's free. You don't need to be rich. You just need to have a body with a soul that everyone has. So it's a very important skill to develop. Yes, so I don't know if you want to add anything, but I can add one thing to this, Rick. What I want to say was that maybe I did later with the knowledge of understanding. So I'm happy to go forward. I just want to add a personal experience I had that make me understand how much fast we progress as knowledge seekers. But I can say it later when we talk about the knowledge of understanding or the transmutation section. So I'm happy to go forward. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy.
I wanted to ask you, Stefania, about the previous slide. If we could go back to that. I live you, my soul. I love with you and I adore you. And I know you talked about practice, but I was looking in the 603 and Mr. Keshe seems to be able to create some sort of cosmic ray field of intensifying the love for each other and yourself. I was just going to see if I could read that. I was asked by a knowledge seeker very recently, can you create a plasma that makes man to fall in love with itself? And you fall in love with it. And I said, you know how dangerous this is? It's possible. The way we create the field of emotion, we have shown you feeling hungry, you lost addictions or whatever. We can develop field strength in the cosmic ray that all of you fall in love with each other. You fall in love with the cat. You won't eat the God knows another lamb. You will not eat another apple because everything is in love. I can put you in that position when I can feed you. And out of that love is the energy of the creator. It's scientifically we can show. So I'm thinking this whole idea, create a field, for example, next week or next session of the knowledge seekers on a Friday that you all fall in love. Nobody can feed you. Nobody can feed you everything. Even if the chair is something you fall in love, you won't sit on it. Wow. So I think we're going to get a little bit of help in this dimension of feeding energies to enhance that love or kindness for ourselves and the others. I don't know. I know you were traveling, Stefania, if you had picked that up about creating this love emotion. will we be able to handle it or get anything done, or will we get stuck on being in love with whatever we're interacting with?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, yes, I mean, already this word, you know, I love you, my soul. I mean, the words are very powerful, and even the soul connection, and the love is the strongest feels in the universe. Um, I think when Mr. Keshe said it could be dangerous only because there are different grades of love. You know, maybe he doesn't want us to become narcissists, you know, when you love yourself. But the real love, the pure love, is unconditional. So it's the one who connects us with the Creator. So definitely, I think we're already doing it. Every time we connect at the soul level, every time every time we do the soul connection. So I think we creating the fields of love. Definitely, if we will fall in love with everything,
With
it
a
also
chair?
means. Hmm?
He said, you'll fall in love with a chair.
Yeah, I already do. Yeah, you will love, because if you think, if you fall in love with everything, you know, that I'm starting on that process as well.
Not just your favorite chair, but every chair.
yeah, yeah. But that mean that you have this unconditional love. So the mean it's very powerful feelings. So that will feed us. You will get fed, so you will not need to eat one another. You will not be able to be aggressive to one another. You will not be able to. This is what we are achieving. This is what we're achieving, and I noticed also that as we practice more and more, and as we more exposed to this cosmic ray, because even if some of us doing the cosmic ray session, because we are all connected, I'm sure we all getting all cosmic ray, all of us. So we all elevating in a fast speed. Um, so this love just gonna become more and more exponentially between us, and I can see this already happening. So we go into different level. When I was away, for example, it was very interesting because I met an energy expert. It was one of the best. It was one of the best in the world. There are like two people like him in the whole world, and he went to do some stuff to my niece, because my niece she's disabled, and but he wanted to get involved the family as well. So he practiced some stuff also to the parents, and and me as well. And he was really impressed on my level of feelings, so much that you know, he thought, oh my God, he said to me, it will take me years and years and years of practice to perceive what you be able to perceive now without practice. And in my mind, straight away, I thought, okay, this is plasma, this is cosmic ray, this is what we're doing. Without knowing, we gain elevated, and without knowing, we gain speed up on the process of be enlightened, you can say, no? So if a master would take years and years to become sensitive to certain fields, and then therefore then he will be able to control them and doing stuff, but I need to have years and years. He said to me, certain exercise he has to repeat like 10,000 times to get the feeling, no? And I have to do it for 50 years, 15 years, non-stop. We actually get that perception of feelings, and we get that sensitivity nearly without practice. Yeah, we practice soul connection every day, but it's not close of what this master doing daily, no? They're doing daily practice, 10 hours a day, every day, not stopping. So it made me realize, how lucky we are, and make me realize how important is the work that Mr. Keshe is doing. We don't realize it because as we get better with our feeling and we notice more stuff, we still, I think some of us maybe they don't realize what we are getting and what is going to lead us to. And how lucky we are in compare maybe to other people that they didn't come in contact with the Keshe Foundation, and they are in contact, they don't know even the cosmic ray exists. But if you see in the graphic that Mr. Keshe showed us in the last teaching, he said that the soul has a line on the right where it gets fed from the machine. So with this machine, we get additional feelings, fields into our body that we do not have without this machine, no? And other people have to train years and years and years and years to get the level that we are getting just by connecting with the machine, or being in contact with the cosmic ray or with the GANs. So over the year, we are actually gain extra fields. As we get more and more fields, as we know, our intellect improve, our enlightenment get better, literally effortless, no? And gradually we're going to be able to do stuff that the Chi master can do, or master who they've been studying tons of years to get where we want to get, and we'll be able to do incredible stuff. So I think, because obviously we don't have no one to compare, because if you don't know what you're getting, and for example, this guy, for example, I come across, he could tell straight away. He said, "Oh my God," he said to me, "can you feel?" Because I'll tell you just one thing now. For example, he was very surprised that I can feel the direction of the fields. I can feel the fields going out, and I can feel the fields going in. And for him, it was mind-blowing. He said, if you can feel the direction of the fields coming out and the fields going in, and already took me 15 years to get to that point. And then it was mind-blowing that I could tell the differences of the fields. But we're all doing it. We all do it now. For us, it's become nearly normal. Some people feel the taste of the orange. Other people feel the taste on the saliva. Other people see things. Other people feel things. For us, getting normal, because we're doing every week. We listen to the Keshe teaching every week. But we don't realize that actually we are very privileged in compared to other people who they don't know about this technology, and they have to work really hard to get where we are. And this guy said to me, in the future, you will be able to maybe heal people instantly. You will be able to do. So in the future, we're going to become like superhuman kind of things, no? So we're really lucky. So this experience really made me understand that we're going somewhere. We're actually doing something. Maybe we don't understand fully now, but very soon things will click and will make sense, and we'll be able to do lots of stuff with it. So we have to just keep going. We all are in the right place at the right time. But you just keep going and keep practice, and naturally we're gonna get there. And we're all very lucky.
The Universal Council invites the Keshe family and the Universal family in unifying at the soul level. every time and every day at 9 p.m. CEST to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve the permanent and lasting peace. So every night at 9 o'clock, we join the souls the way we did by Estefania, and we try to do it. The more we do it, the more we exercise our soul and the capacity of our soul to move away and come back. So don't worry, the soul is expanding. The more you give, the better it comes back and it becomes bigger. So that's what we do for us, for humanity, for generation which come after us. Thank you very much.
And Myrna, we all key off of the foundation keys off of the Central European time or Central European summertime. So for me, it's not 9 p.m. at night, it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I think Rick's time is probably different as well, and other people's, unless you're on.
Yeah, it's noon at 12 o'clock be my time for that, which is easy to remember in a way.
Yeah, first, it's good to be at the same time, different zone times to be equal to 9 p.m. European time. And if not, at any time, and anytime you feel, you see a picture, you raise the leader that you saw the picture, and you raise the leader you give from your soul, that the leader goes to the way of peace. Every time, every chance, we take it. Thank you.
And Martinez, why are we doing this? As you said, you can do this anytime and all the time, but why are they calling for it to be done collectively at this time?
Yeah, it's like, the laser power. You gather the powers and you focus on point. It becomes it becomes a synergy of the others. And also every soul has a kind of different strength. So together we have a collection of different levels of strength that might fit to any of the leaders and to elevate the humanity. One by one is less effective as it is not collective. Like anything, when you are in a group, the same idea, the same position, it works much better.
Like a bigger
yes.
bouquet, yes?
Exactly. And it's more fun also. If you can join others, it's just a good feeling, I think. And that's the whole thing. We are all the same. We are all the same. We have to believe it. There is no hierarchy here. It doesn't matter the education, the money, the country, the color, the race, the religion. We have to believe that we are all the same soul. We have the same color of the soul. So these are all educating us to another point of view about life, about soul, about humanity. And also, Mr. Keshe also says that we have to be more not take it too heavy for humanity. It's not all humanity's fault. It's all the situation and magnetic gravity situations, the place the planet is. They all create this feeling, I want to surpass the law, I want to do other things. And so maybe when there are changes in magnetic gravity of the earth or from up and this in the sky, changes come, then humanity becomes more equal, becomes more conscious of how precious it is and its value in humanity as the nursery of humanity, that how important it is that we safeguard our souls in our actions, in our talk, in our thinking. Because every talk becomes action, every action again goes back to the thought. These are all the same. So we kind of have to learn that controlling and also knowing that we are not complete, we are not perfect. So every day we have the challenges, we compare ourselves with what's right, and we try to find out what made us not to do right. And little bit by little, we advance, we learn. I learned from Estefania this connection with cosmic rays, which gave me a good feeling. I felt connected. So all these, as she said, we are lucky in a way that we are learning these things a step by step by step. And things come when there is a right time to come. So no rush, and just be happy, take care of yourselves, because as she said, we have to take care of ourselves before giving to others. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marjorie, is there a video to play for the?
Yeah, this.
Oh.
Oh yes, I see. Before this frame.
Before, yes. Thank you.
Right. It's the invitation to be part of the Universal Council. And Mr. Keshe is speaking in this excerpt from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop. So I'll play that now.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring in a new development of Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years. They are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally. And we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marjorie. I also want to add to Shriman Mehranji and Keshe that how sweetly he welcomes, how beautifully he welcomes from all over the world. Yes, please do come. And as we are here to serve, not to be served. Now thus there is no boundaries anymore. no barriers of languages. Beautiful soul. Anyone, from anywhere can join. If I can, then anyone,
Right.
beautiful soul.
I think Rick
Yes.
put that link to sign up for the Universal Council in his announcement. Maybe he can share it in this chat as well, just in case someone didn't pick it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark, my dear. Thank you. So please do come, beautiful souls from all over the world. So much beauty. As Mehran was sharing, loving oneself and sharing that love to others. This is the way we can share, we can give, we can support, we can help all mankind, all humanity, I will say. So, welcome to the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, dear beautiful souls, organization. And then we invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us your question to be answered live each week and or according to the needs of your community. And as everything is in the newness, so also the page of the Universal Council too, dear beautiful souls. So it is updating in the new form, in the new way. So if now you can join, for now, you can join the telegrams for your messages, for your interaction, for your love, for your teachings also. As we are all knowledge seekers, we are all learning, dear beautiful souls. And you can have your messages and interaction and discussion, a sharing of love in these telegram groups of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And you are so, so much welcome. Every message, if there is a question, we will, as a knowledge seeker, we will try to answer in a way which we will try to interact. So thank you. Thank you so, so much for being here always. Beautiful soul. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salute. Thank you for joining us as one soul. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick, for putting that in the chat.
Okay, thanks, Mark and Shweta. Our next part here, we have an excerpt from the 603rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop from last August 14th, last week. And it's about the soul print and our ancestors. This will be it's a little over 15 minutes long. So you get that ready here. And let's begin.
John, every one of us has a fingerprint of the soul. Every one of us has access to this knowledge. Every one of us has been born with a specific fingerprint of us. Not somebody else's. And we are all connected to this. If you look at the evolution of the man, if you look at the evolution of the science of what we call physical evolution, we see that in reality, we should be able, with the knowledge we have today, to discover where our ancestors, from the energy point of view, connect to us. We are feeding you in the back, as you know, usual. We are monitoring you. The systems are connected. Those of you who sit in the panelists, you can see we have connected. I'm monitoring how you change parameters. Last time, we fed you with energies 2 weeks ago, orange and honey. Today, we are taking a different path. but we see the same. In a way, what we can see, what we have in our hand, what is in possession of us at this moment of time is that knowing, having hundreds and hundreds of pictures, recordings, we have a connection with our Creator. Without a fail, we are connected because now we can see it. There is no doubt in the knowledge. Now we have to backtrack this to actually where and how the cells in my body connecting, interacting with the energy which comes from the universe and the planetary connects me to the soul of my Creator. The information which comes through the dimension of the fields of the universe to way we can find the time travel. Was this 400 billion years ago? Was this 300 billion years ago? And knowing that energy comes from anywhere, can we see how universe was shaped, created, and connected? This part we know. I'm sure in research in next few years, we tell you this is the soul of your cell in your foot, this is the soul in your leg, and then because we can estimate the soul of physicality, tell you which soul interacted with the field of the earth that created this and with this. This part is the easy part. This part is what man needs to understand, and the beauty of it is, an absolute beauty of it, when you see this, because of all the pictures we've seen, hundreds and hundreds of graphs, we monitored. We put you in teams of 20, we put you individually. What we see, there is nothing about this line. Not even a single dot. And this is your soul, which is absorbing energies. You see there is a line of feed in all your lines you've seen. We know this comes from our systems. We are feeding you through our system. Let me explain to you something, because we are sitting on the edge of science. We are sitting on the parameters that there is no doubt in the knowledge, in understanding, and in the whole structure. We have a system. Since we put this system in the laboratory, in testing facilities, I think you should have seen it in the past pictures, we have a line which feeds the man. And interesting enough, this line is coming since we added the specific system into the system. I'll show it to you that you can understand. If we can feed this, and what we saw in the next session, or in the next picture which we showed, then you see we are all connected to our Creator. And we can choose the path of the field, and we can choose the path of enlightenment, because it is not man-made, it is us which feeds the man separately, directly, and continuously. And this is the beauty of it. This is what brings the knowledge so close. You see this line? I'm sure you all can see. You see this line? This is the line of the feed, which we bring in. And you've seen it in most of the pictures. This is where we interact with the soul of the man. And this is how you come to your physicality, the soul of physicality. And in the systems where we test you with orange or whatever, or you go in the system, I don't look how it is. I look at how you are getting fed by us this line. So we can interact with you this line. This comes in since we put a system somewhere in the what do you call it, in the lab. Before it didn't exist. It's a straight dot lines. When we have very strong souls which they depend on each other, we do not see this line. It's very well concentrated as souls. What this picture, and has been a point of research for me for past year or two, especially past year since we started seeing this line, if we can create this line and feed into the cycle of the energy of the soul of the man, so we can enlighten the man. So we can mature man much faster than man ever thought. Because now we control the process of enlightenment, the process of the fields. And the more stronger this gets, the more man gets enlightened, and it will change the physicality of man. But we control it, we monitor it, and we understand mankind is on the verge of a huge breakthrough in this process. And if we can extend this to the level of what we call understanding of the process of creation and increasing this, because it's very interesting. If you look at this picture, it doesn't exist in it. It's very clear. You still see the line of creation that we created, what we can feed you with, and what it comes to be as part of. But again, even when we feed, we do not see at all any changes in the dimension of the connection above this line. It should have been extended somewhere. It doesn't. I've monitored hundreds of pictures. Why? If you go back months and months ago, we have a scattered energy on this side, but at the end of it, that is a limit to it. It doesn't expand to somewhere else. And when we go directly to expand the soul, it collects itself into one bundle. You don't see any whatsoever dots around here, which means we can connect to the source of the creation. We can go back, travel time in the process of time. And the interesting part for me is what you're going to see now. And this is very interesting because now we see the same figure, but we don't go beyond it. I'm monitoring your live pictures at this moment. This I show you exactly to see how you lot look as energy to us on the system. We're not talking yesterday or last week or whatever. We're talking about you as knowledge seekers in past 5 minutes. Have a look how you look and how the energy is. And these kind of pictures, these kind of data opens a massive line of research, understanding. And we are feeding you. So we are controlling this drastically, closely. And you have luck. This is the feed from the lab. You see exist. There we are. This is collective soul of you lot. Interaction with the field of the universe, of the earth, and you lot collecting yourself down here. Two lines feeding yourself. And if you notice again, there is nothing above this side. There is nothing here. There is nothing here. The dimension of physicality, because your aura is scattered everywhere here. You're interacting with different fields, you're still here. But when it comes connecting to the soul of the man, to the universe, there's nothing there. So it means we are connected. What we see is the end, the process, the exact dimension which we all come from. So we should be able to track the time back. Because out of these fields do not come full strength to us. We get some of it. Thus, this line is the 80% which feeds our soul, which interaction of it with the physicality feed us to create our manifestation of physicality. The timeline we look for sits in the mystery of time here. This energy we are used to from 2 billion years ago. This energy we are used to 1 billion years ago. The energy here we are used to, we gathered to use it 10 billion years ago. So interaction of this with the physical fields of the earth gives us the physicality of man today. So in a way, this energy in conversion comes from there. There must be another similar creature as us in the dimension of the universe, in the structure of DNA. And if it fits into the same environment and could find a replication of the earth condition, most probably has our DNA. But can we see the history of the soul of the man? Back to the future, not for the physicality, but back to the future for actual dimension of the life of the man. In the coming months, as we set up research centers with cooperation with governments and what we set up, I'm sure our scientists will start looking at this. Because I can travel not only to whatever, I can travel directly into the dimension of the soul of the path of the creation. On Earth we tracked, we came from East Africa, Central Africa. We tracked which galaxies, which universe, and which path we took to our Creator. Because some of these dots carry that field. We haven't opened this. If you open this, there's thousands and thousands of dots which makes this interaction. Why is it this? This is on the left side of the brain. So it carries the emotion side of the man, and you see it interacting with the planetary Earth has to create this end. It has to. It has no other choice. And then we see the interaction of the soul of the man with the field of the earth and the manifestation of physicality. If he is physical, should be this. And if we understand this, if we change the interaction of the soul of the man with the interaction of the fields of the planetary system, which creates what we call the spirit, if we can control this, we can control this, there'll be no child born with no defects. Because we feed the spirit of the man, we feed the soul of the man. And then we can feed the knowledge of the universe, enlightenment, to create a new man. New creatures on this planet, does not kill, does not do anything. And secondly, now we can use the satellites to do it. Satellites do not need to look or set a mobile number. It looks for energy of the fields of the soul of the man, which has a amino acid of blah 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 to it. Think. We are on the verge of time to understand our path from our Creator to us. Next 50 years, 100 years, when we stop killing each other and we have more energies in our hand to look at the freedom of intelligence and knowledge, we'll find the time, the place, the position, and the emotions of our Creator. It's just man now has the knowledge. Now man has the time to search. And my wish is that we don't go into the path of the past, that we annihilate ourselves. We don't get a chance to reach, to understand the truth about our cycle of life in the dimension of the creation, in the dimension of understanding of the totality of the life of the man. Now, the biggest interesting thing is, it makes sense. This is the Creator and this is the man. I made man in the image of myself. The interaction in the soul of the man with the earth is the mirror. What you see within the soul of the man, you see within the soul of the Creator, and in that position you can time it how it came that this field within the interaction of the field of the earth led to creation of the physical man the way we see.
Okay, I went a little bit over on that one, but I think you'll admit that it was worthwhile. Let's go back to our program here. Back here. And next, I think we have the invitation about the questions and answers for the Universal Council with Shweta.
Yes. Well, beautiful soul, we invite you to connect with a member of Universal Council to send us your question to be answered live each week or the needs of your community. And I welcome you all souls, as we are all knowledge seekers, learning. We can interact with, as the Universal Council page in the website is updating for the newness, as everything is in the new timeline. So it will be soon, as everything will be soon manifest. All the love always, and please do join in the Telegram groups of different languages in Keshe Foundation language group in the Telegram. So you can have your questions, answer questions, and even you want to teach us, you are welcome, and interact, teach all of us. You know, we are becoming sort of teachers. So welcome, my dear beautiful souls. Have your say, have your share. Let's start an interaction in the language groups, in the Telegram groups of Keshe Foundation. Welcome, welcome. Now there is no boundaries at all. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Welcome again. Thank you for joining us as one soul, my dear beautiful soul. Salam. Namaste. Yes, yes.
I just
Yes.
wanted to add to what Tinder was asking, why are we here if not to enjoy the physicality? But I think we're enjoying the physicality the wrong way. And this is part of the change that needs to be brought. We've changed our genes to become more aggressive and more killing and the rest of it. And now this is going to be changed so we can enjoy the physicality without destroying it or killing it, and just enjoy the beauty of it. And I think this is part of the change, or something I forgot to add last time. I don't know if Tinder's here on YouTube or not, but at least it'll be on the recording. So
Yes,
now
absolutely, Mark. Yes.
these genes are being modified again. That was part of the whole teaching of what he said, how they modified the genetically modified seeds and reversed it. So now we're doing the same process, not using Gans waters. Well, we do, but using the fields that weren't readily available to us to bring that change of the emotion and correct the RNA and the DNA, because that killing has been in us longer than a generation or more. So now it becomes embedded. So this is the reversal that's happening.
Yes, my dear Mark. Thank you so much for bringing up this. This is very important, you know. The conditions we are in now, as have manifested from thousands of years, it is about destroying the kindness, the compassion of humanity, mankind, so that the creation that has been happening from thousands of years, we forget everything, kind of that, in a way. And now, because of this universal teaching, we are creating this new timeline. So the enjoyment that was so-called enjoyment by gender is not supposed to be, well, not supposed to be in this condition again. We are not celebrating this type of enjoyment, because it only talks about their action about killing, destroying everything. So we are now in the timeline of real happiness. I will say happiness and joy more, that we can understand each other's value, each respect each other, each even a plant, a leaf, a bacteria too. So I will say, my dear sender, we have all seen the wonderful world. Now, really, really manifest the beauty in totality. You will love this. Sharing now, it is all about collectiveness. It is all about whole humanity. It is all about the kindness of mankind to be released in a way as an energy level. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so, so much.
Okay, thank you. I don't see Tender in YouTube at this point, but perhaps they'll be back later. We can move now into the knowledge and understanding from the 603rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop from last Thursday with Stefania. Are you there, Stefania?
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sweta. Thank you so much, Rick. Yes, you can see from the last video as well what Mr. Keshe said. The 603. I didn't have I had the opportunity to listen not as many times as I wanted to, so I will not be able to give a summary like I usually do. But what I can say, as you can see from the graphic, he confirmed again what I was trying to say before, that you can see from this graphic that with this machine that they build up with the Keshe Foundation, they can feed the soul of the man, and they can bring the humankind to a much faster enlightenment. And then what was very, very interesting was when he was talking about go back in time at the energy level. So I think because if you noticed from the graphic, it just shows we gain this downloading of energy fields. We can call them cosmic ray. And if you see, we get our soul get these rays. And if you see from the graphic, certain the energy fields that we're getting from the soul to the physicality, they are connect us with our ancestors, and they connect us also to our creator. So my feeling from what we just saw on the explanation of Mr. Keshe is that as we get more and more enlightened, we're gonna get to know the knowledge of the universe, the knowledge of the unicos, and therefore we're gonna get to know also the knowledge of the creator. This is my understanding. I don't know if Mark or anyone else want to add anything. But it was very, very interesting. And I had the confirmation, as I said, when I met this man. He was expert in energy fields. And he was really surprised of how much I can perceive. And I for sure, I think part of the fact I was perceiving so much was because I been part of I came to Linz. I did the transmutation session, and I'm also attending Thursday lecture, and also prior of this, the practice with the guns, just be involved in the Keshe Foundation. I think you get enlightened faster. And I also noticed that we do not have a feedback because for us, for some of us, this is new. So for us, it's all new ground, all new feeling and sensation. But for some people who done this for many, many years, they can see, they can tell how much faster we progress. So it was very interesting, the workshop last week, because it also showed that this, from my understanding of the graphic, that the line from the soul and the creator is a straight line. And we can really understand what does it mean, the commandment, and to be detached. So when you're detached, you have no interfere with other lines, but just you and the creator, one line. Yes, so from my understanding also, he said that when a couple, they're truly in love and they have a really strong love for each other, you don't even see the line of attachment to the machine. So I think the ultimate goal, from my understanding, we will not need the machine anymore. At one point, the machine would be not needed, because we can get fed directly from the creator, and we don't need to get additional energy from any other machine. So I think the machine that we're using now, from my understanding, are like a stepping stone. They're like crutches. And then as our aura gets stronger, our soul gets more strong and enlightened, we don't need anything to help us, but we'll have a clear connection, as I said, with the creator. So this is my understanding. I don't know if anyone want to add anything, because in my mind, I think these are the points that stays in my head. Mark, do you want to add anything? Because these are the things just come off my head.
Just making a peaceful man out of a violent man. Gradually, slowly, but collectively. A complete change from the ant to the man.
Yes, was very interesting also when you talk about Mitra and the creation of the son of Mitra, the perfect child. And I think we're going into that as we get more and more fed by these fields and we get stronger and more enlightened, then we'll be able to create these perfect children. So I really feel very strong about the future. And as I said, my experience with this man, that he was expert in chi, in energy fields, he really make me understand what we're doing and how important it is. Yes, so for me, this was also interesting. Actually, one other part that was interesting for me was when it make the correlation between the you know, as we eat and we use food to, that is this 20% of energy that it will connect with 80% of the same energy from the universe. And he said, what about if the same is the reason why we got planets, we got galaxy, we got because that one, the galaxy, the planets, and the Earth can be the 20% who connect us with the energy of the universe and the universe. So that was very interesting for me. So like when you eat like something that it's material, like an apple, and you get the fields of the apple from the universe, the same, the universe itself has got the Earth, or it's got the galaxy, because from those he can attract the 80% of this energy that it's from the universe. So that was very interesting for me. It was very interesting the fact that we're gonna go into the intellect. We're gonna get to know the intellect of the universe and the universe and the creator. So it's very, very interesting. I found this graphic really help of a better understanding of what we're doing and what's happening with the cosmic ray. I know that Mr. Keshe talked in the second part a lot about this new structure that is already started with this computer system that are unfortunately I didn't listen properly the workshop before last, when we're celebrating the birthday of Mr. Keshe, and the one before when he introduced this machine. So I don't know if you, Mark, you want to add something with them, because I missed a few workshops, but from my understanding, those machines they're gonna start in the Keshe Foundation to start with the knowledge seeker, and he relying on the knowledge seeker to make sure that we have enough number to create our own grid, and as we create in this grid that cannot be interfered, that cannot be hacked by anyone outside, then when we become stronger, we'll be then introduced to the whole world. And I know that he's already started the process, Mr. Keshe. And I don't know if you want to add. I know that it's this computer system, it's creating another line, like a parallel line, work with the fields, and then eventually we don't need any more computer, we don't need any more internet, we don't need any more currency. So eventually we're gonna get the freedom that we always wanted. I don't know if you, Mark, want to add something with this, because I didn't study it properly yet.
No, other than he said you knowledge seekers asked for the change, and now the change is on the table. It's for us to take the responsibility of picking it up and supporting it and expanding it. But are we going to play the announcements, Rick? I know that's quite long, about 20 minutes. Is that in the schedule? Because Mr. Keshe went into further detail and clarification.
Yes, we'll have announcements. That excerpt is about 19 minutes, and we'll play that after the Keshe coin video coming up.
Okay, perfect. Then maybe we should just go on and listen, and we can comment later.
I agree.
Okay, perfect.
All right, we'll play the Keshe coin video first, and then we'll do the announcements from the 603rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Just bear with me a second while I do some rearranging here.
And again, this is a system, an internal system to the Keshe Foundation at this point. It's for us to develop it, and then over time, humanity will pick it up more and more governments will get on. And I think the example in Africa is very good as well, as we'll probably see the growth and the financial stability and the rest of this between two nations to start with. And then that will expand. As he said, Africa is more likely to jump on this first in a way, as they don't have all the infrastructure and other things that have to be amortized over time before a new system is brought in. So they may actually have an advantage of bringing this, but we're all bringing this and we're all responsible to bring it.
Okay, here's the Keshe coin video. Okay, that's our Keshe coin video. And there might be more about that in our announcements video, which I can play now. Okay, I have that lined up. So this is announcements from the 603rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop from last Thursday. And this is an excerpt that Mark has put together in his Q&A mini-series.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir, I would like to go back to clarify a few things about the unit we launched last week. First of all, there's a very big concern apparently in German and German speaking, because most of it comes through our translators who do the translation and create a mayhem as usual when it translates it to other languages and creates in the community. The new system we are launching is an electronic system through what we call cosmic ray connection. It doesn't affect anyone. You have a pacemaker, you have a half electronic limb, whatever. And it is a system as much as your system in the house, your television, your microwave, affects you when you're walking around the house when it's working. So this does not affect anything. It has nothing to do with what you call the daily operation of people in their houses because of what we do. There's a lot of questions to be raised. There are a large number of people who like to help to buy units and give to the others, but at the same time, as I said, this has an income. They would like to hold the income to themselves, but give the others to run it. And you have to ask yourself a question. If you're there to support, why do you put the burden of the expenses on somebody else's when you collect the funds for it? We calculated this when we launched this, and the idea was to put 1 coin a year, and I always thought we'll come to the point that people who want to buy, donate, but they still want to like have an income, but they give it to someone, that someone has to pay their electricity, anything else to go with it. Why not split it half? So many of you are buying for us to give. The only thing is left for us, because we cannot give the burden to somebody else, is to hold this on the expenses of the foundation, running in several houses which we have to run. Because we cannot give, you bought 10 units and say, okay, I want one of them, but I give 9 units to others, but I want the income. Think twice. Ethos of the Keshe Foundation. We put it that way. Unless then it comes back, still, foundation has to put these servers somewhere and pay for them to be maintained, the electricity and everything else. When you're generous, understand the generosity. So those of you who are donating unit to us, the income of it, at least split it with others that at least pays for their income. At least it pays for their expenses of electricity, everything else they spend maintaining these systems which are 24 hours a day. It brings us freedom. It brings us what we see, the limitation. I thank you all the support you're showing to bring this in, and I'm sure we need a lot more to be sold to be able to be on the safe side that we cannot be hacked and the rest of it. We still need a lot to be bought, that it comes in, and sometime in the next few weeks we start posting these out. It's a plug and play. You don't need to do anything with it. You have a wire to connect it to your internet, or you connect to Wi-Fi to the system you have. The system will find itself. We don't need to do anything. Do I need to? These are miniature computers. In a way, if you think of it, a lot of people, you hear they steal your, what do you call it, website, to your emails, and what you actually do with our system, provide a server storage safe, and then they do everything else within the system. This is on its own, doesn't touch anything, doesn't hack anything, goes through its system on its own. We control it. If it's stolen, if somebody switches it off, we see, we block it and everything else. There's a lot of parameters and security is going. We are looking at 2 things. We put the first week at 30 or 50 for the card. And now we put it on this rate. That was a gift for those who come early, like we done with the 2000. It goes back to €99 per the card. This card is important because all your information, your what I call pass to use your coins sits on this card. We have to pay a structured company to take your visual iris, to take your palm, to take all your information to load up on the card and everything else. The card is not empty and it costs money nowadays to do it, even if you send it to India. Still, the gentleman comes on the phone, says, can I help you? Do you need anything? Can I have your face? That guy's still going to be paid. It's going to be paid a fair price. And it goes the same with everything else we do. We have to look at the structure. These systems, at the moment, we what do you call it, a certain capacity to meet the present demands. In a year, in 2 years, when the load of information on the system increases, we might ask you to add another capacity, what do you call it, the storage to it, which is you plug it in, is accommodated for that to go. You got to remember two things. You receive the box with the unit in it. This unit, then you receive another box sometime in next days, weeks later, with a little antenna. We show you where to plug it in. Once you plug this in, we create a dimension of another communication line. We are in a position, maybe something which has risen very, very past few hours, looking at, we might look at, but we have to actually finish the coin, that we allow 2 nations to use the Keshe coin as a currency exchange between them, which brings a balanced energy, balanced fields of currency together. If we succeed this to do, I have to think of a way to do it correctly between the 2 nations, that Keshe coin stays between the 2 nations as a stable currency. It does not matter what happens on the other side or the other side. And this is important because then this currency game goes away and the valuation comes in what I get, in what I give, and how much you respect to give me without me playing with the currency. Keshe coin as a exchange flat rate between 2 nations, we are in it, we can bring it in, we can promote it and run a test with it. If it works, then all nations become equal. Dollar is not stronger than pound, and pound is not stronger than yen, and gameplay which man has made for himself for nothing. If you think of exchange rate, it's a big, big facade. And now it has a chance to go. We are reaching another point which we would like you as knowledge seekers to think. Because the reason we launched this unit is to get rid of the internet facilities and the rest of it, which is bugging everybody down with currencies, with passports and everything else. It will replace all that with a card you carry connected to these systems. Nobody can do anything with it, and it's big enough that it goes around. But we have to make it to the next step. And this came from the back of the inspiration of what we are doing, and you're donating for other units. Look into your community and see what you can sponsor: a university, a teaching institute, for research, for children who cannot be taken to school, but through the coins, we can pay for research, we can pay for the education of those who cannot afford it. What this means, as a community, you donate, you raise for 100 units. We donate this 100 units to a university. It gives them 2,400 coins. This gives them 2.4 million money every year to educate, to promote research, and people can have a gift for life. And if you can, as communities, do this, first of all, we spread this across the universities in 1 nation or 2 nations, and we support to educate. And we can support to educate in the knowledge we want the research to be done with. This week I had the opportunity with the professor and the lady who set us up to meet this and point up discussion in agriculture, and they can do a research for us. They can get governmental businesses to do for us PhDs and to understand our technology, how it affects it, and provide research facilities. But we are lucky. The children in Africa, the children in India, the children in other part of the world are not that lucky to get this. We get it because of institutional structure we have created. And I would like to ask you, as knowledge seekers, you give money out to whatever. Do give units. This is every year. You don't do anything, you pay once. Foundation supports through its structure, through the cash coins which we have established. 2.4 multiplied by 100, multiplied by 1,000. 2.4 million in the hand of the children. Educated, paid prior, and they know they have this for time to come. For 10 years, 20 years, as long as the system runs. University pays very little to maintain. We educate children beyond imagination in the knowledge of peace in what we want to do. We pay only by coin. You cannot come to us as, my coin is 1,000, I hold for 2. We are making facilities that you can exchange with the other things in the process that you have an income from it and goes. We explain this as the system structure gets set. I'll explain to you step by step. We brought these coins in conjunction with the Keshe Foundation currency of the what we call cosmic ray, with the structure to back it with a market for $1,000 per share that stands on its own. I've seen a guy, we know who it is, is playing with shares, taking it up, bringing it down. It's been his job. This is how he could get done everybody in his life. This is part of his life. Need that money for the injection of drugs and cocaine. I'll explain to you, I'll give his name out very soon. Then you understand why they don't allow the shares to go over 10, 11 cents and then bring it down to 6 and go up, and they sell 10,000 here, that 1,000 there, because they stole shares from the Keshe Foundation, so they're actually making drug money out of it. But the value of the shares will go to a limit you cannot imagine. We bring it because we set it up. But we let these mouses play their game. Then you understand the whole process is set up through coins when we give to the government, when we set it with the what we call universities for research, and then when we feed to every man, gradually it takes hold. This machine is not just what you put in the house. This machine is set to change the fabric of the education, currency, financial world, no passports, one planet, one nation, and we have to look after all of it. And we have started. We have set it up. You're supporting us, but we need much more. We have to have 10,000 of these across this planet to be safe, that no hacker, does not matter from which nation, from the biggest organization in the world, to be able to change anything. And we have put insurances, we put policies and other things behind it to support us. We can give this to nations to do, but you know what the nation, what the governments do. Dump it, to stop it. We have to carry this one, is back to the knowledge, it's back to humanity to bring that position. You kept on telling me, you gave the patent to the governments that do nothing, you betrayed us. Now this time I give humanity in your hand, you have to grow it, not me. We do our best to do. We bring the knowledge, we facilitate. This is the responsibility of you knowledge seekers to bring it in. We've seen a good response, but has to be much bigger that we can secure the network for all of us. No revolution, no natural disaster can stop man to be one and look after itself as one. And it's not a currency game, it's a Keshe Foundation game. That's why you receive a card to be able to get into the system to cash it. Is not in the stock market and what we call cryptocurrency. Even governments need a card to get in to access the card, what we call the coins. The cards are, in a way, your license. You have to look after it. You can't lose it. But understand what we launched. You have to do everything and correct it, find the mistakes. In the first few months, we do what needs to be done. And then we ask the knowledge seekers to load up all the teachings, load up everything which is there to the knowledge we have created, everything which has ever been put in, load up, you can access to it. And then I explain to you how you can access to it in a totally different way that no government can interact or interfere with you. We need to reach a figure of 10,000. I've spoken with the design and structure of this, what it not been done. I've spoken to people who've been dreaming to set up, but they don't have the organization to set up. Keshe Foundation has, knowledge seekers can, and do it for us as a humanity to bring the change. 1,000 unit is $2 million. And it's not enough to cover the whole systems not to be hacked. 10,000 units is like a mesh across this universe. Nobody can touch it. We're all safe in it. And we can see how the next generation for all of us can come into operation. Then everything else will come the way it comes. All the stores, what we call, I was talking to a friend of mine, I said, you heard about Alibaba? You heard about others? This is a plasma Baba, where everything produced through the knowledge of the plasma, cosmic ray, will be on this site. It will be on this machine. You can buy, you can give, you can play. And at the same time, those of you who, when the process comes, you can play the games. This is what we call enlightenment games, enlightenment process. That enlightenment game gives you, if you're after making a living, maybe 10 coins a year you win, gives you 10,000. If you're happy with it, but it takes a lot of effort to win it, but you make a living out of it, no problem, but it teaches you how to become peaceful. Help us to bring this in, otherwise I have to go to governments and then they put the fingers in it, because there are governments who want to see this coming, but they have conditions on doing it. And I would not like to get these hands because I know how these hands play.
Okay, that completes that excerpt from the 603rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And next, we have an excerpt from the 603rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Let me see here. Let me get that lined up. And this will start at close to the 2-hour mark, 1:56. Okay, I've got that lined up. Let me share it. And the title on this part, this excerpt is Images of the Collective Souls During the Workshop. And souls, the beautiful people. Again, this is an excerpt from the 603rd Last Knowledge Seekers Workshop from August 14th. Play that now.
This is how we see things, and it's part of the process which will come in the future. If you remember, I said, this is the way the fields flow. Infinity loop, and sometimes interaction of the fields of the environment. And you see how the loop changes. And how we are part of the same, yin and yang. We have a slight deviation in the X because of the earth. We have a small deviation here because the man is the end. But we have, if you look at this process here, it's exactly what was said for a long time. I try to show it to you here. The center, when it goes, this interaction of the field changes it. Then you see it comes to the same point. You saw this live one. But what is interesting to show is the next picture. I'll tell you why it's interesting to show. This is part of what we'll show in the future. These 2 points here will show you very clearly in the future end up into 2 points, which in our system feeds in the system. But in the pictures we'll show in the future, there is no connection. Clearly 2. And interesting, this is, and it comes from what we call an individual. Through the tests we've done, we have a full scientific confirmation of the beautiful people. Two souls, 2 energy packs within one body. There is no, if you look, there is nothing here. This ends up with 2 energy packs directly the same. This picture exists in our, what we call, in our system. For the first time, what we said, that we can define the existence of the beautiful people. In past few weeks, we have the full confirmation scientifically is correct. In our system, we create a feed. Here, they both feed the same. And if you go back, I'm sure in the future research is done, you will see the 2 souls. And when we finish with this one, we'll release a full scientific papers about it with a confirmation of the time, the place and position, and the position, and how they physically interact, how they have their own independent energy sources. We see two clear souls, have no connection with each other, have no connection with supply, and how the two manage to coexist with each other. Then you understand, if you see in the feed we can do to the soul, we can feed the emotion of peace. We can feed the emotion of love. I was asked by knowledge seekers very recently, can you create a plasma that makes man to fall in love with itself, and you fall in love with it? I said, you know how dangerous this is? It's possible. The way we create fields of emotions, we have shown you, feeling hungry, you lost addictions or whatever, we can create, develop, feel the strength in the cosmic ray that all of you fall in love with each other. You fall in love with a cat, you won't eat the.
Okay, that's our excerpt from the 603rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Again, that was around the 2-hour mark. And let me see, let's get back to our presentation here. Okay. I believe it's time for transmutation. Generally, we have Moshfek directing this part. Are you available, Moshfek?
Yes, I'm available. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, please go ahead. Thank you.
I wasn't scheduled to be talking today, but if anybody else wants to talk, that's fine as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see it's Stefania Dean or Shweta instead of Moshfek for today's transmutation.
Yes, but I can talk if nobody else is coming forward.
Yeah, Mushfaq, you can talk because I was gonna just share my feedback I had from the Chi Master because for me was for me, like I said before, it's like we learn as we're going along. But it was the first time someone who work a lot with energy could see stuff that I couldn't see. For example, interesting things I can say that he make me notice is that he asked me, so he do a movement, and then he said to me, did you felt anything? And I told him that I was feeling the different direction of the flow of this energy. And the interesting things was that he said, oh, you can feel both direction. And when he said both direction, straight away I thought magnetical gravitation, in my head went magnetical gravitational. And he said that feeling it two direction, not many people can feel. And then he drew me some stuff of different type of energy, and I could tell the differences of the type of energy that he was working on. Again, even that one, if he thought there was extraordinary, that I could feel it. He even said he thought I was a genius, but I know I'm not a genius. I know that I'm just doing a transmutation session. So for me, it was very important to have that feedback from this man, because it makes me understand, how much we are learning without knowing. And I wanted to tell in the transmutation session, but I said it before already 3 times. So, yeah, so I don't know if you want to add anything on that. Yes, so.
I'm going to, since you spoke about feeling the energy, I was doing a soul travel, kind of like at the boundary of the solar system, kind of. And the one thing that was very clear, that I could feel your presence. And I said, oh, am I sensing something wrong? No, it was very clear. So I was doing.
You mean my present?
Yes, your presence.
Okay.
Nothing, I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about you. Since you spoke, the flow, you were flowing there for some reason. And I don't know exactly why and how, but I felt it. But I'll just leave it at that. And
when you were feeling this, can you tell me again?
This was like a week back or so, and I don't exactly remember the exact time, but a week to 2 weeks in that time frame.
It's strange because I did thought, I don't know exactly when, but I did thought, oh, I would like to practice a little bit with Mushfaq, this energy fields. I think because we talked in the past when we were in London, and we talked about a lot of stuff. So you definitely came to my mind, but I cannot tell if it was 2 weeks. I cannot tell exactly when it was, but I remember me thinking I need to speak with Mushfaq and see if you can practice something. So it's interesting you said that.
So it happened. So that's the interesting part. It happened.
But it's interesting for me that you can tell that it was me. That is interesting because from my understanding also of this man, so for me it was interesting to meet this man because this man listened his knowledge, because he was talk about that there are many different type of fields. He called him different type of chi, and I was thinking straight away the Magrav, let's go, then the ray of the sun. And then even Mr. Keshe saying in this workshop that we're going to be able to distinguish different type of energy fields, and interact with them and choose which one we want to interact. So you, if you know there was me, means that you already can differentiate the different types of fields.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes. And another interesting thing he asked me if I can see colors. For him, it was important to know if we can see colors. And this remind me, Mr. Keshe talk about, about the light, about different colors, the blue light as well. So that was also interesting. Do you think because the colors are connected with the different type of magnetic fields? Because each color is different field strength.
Yeah, color is one range of feeling. And there can be other types of feeling. And this is something I think is unique to each emotional characteristics. I'm not we are all different in terms of how we feel things. Color is a way of feeling, within a range of field. You want to differentiate the fields. Color is a one way of differentiating field within a certain range you are operating in. There can be other ways of feeling about fields, and this is the topic I'm going to talk about now. So you'll see that this is something that we have to get used to in a way. When we operate, we can operate in multiple ranges, but within ranges we have abilities to fine-tune fields. And this is, let me give you an example. I was giving this example to a friend of mine I was talking to a few days back. I was explaining, manifestation of fields. So there was a Coca-Cola can in front of us, and I said, look at this Coca-Cola can. It has aluminum in its structure. So, which is also a collection of fields. So we create a collection of fields to make aluminum. But what we have to bring the fields together in a certain way, a certain level of density, so that it manifests as material aluminum. But that's only the structure of the metal. So that's one level of energy field. And within that you have aluminum, its nearby cousins of other material in terms of structures. But that's one level of the manifestation. But then the Coca-Cola can itself has an energy structure. In a sense, we have to pressurize this metal structure to take the shape of a Coca-Cola can. So that's another range of fields. And there you can make a cylindrical can, we can make a square can, and all kinds of pressure environment we can create. So in a way, the manifestation, I'm just giving you two levels, but there are others depending on the complexity of the material. Coca-Cola cans, aluminum has one range of field where you manipulate to create the material aluminum, and the other one is to give the shape to the Coca-Cola can. And so, but the two are different ranges of field. So in a way, this exists in other ways. So the other way that I want to talk about today is that we can look at the time factor. Mr. Keshe was showing the diagram and showing this is 1 billion years ago, this is 2 billion years ago, this is 10 billion years ago. Now, that idea that as we move across the field, we can access different time range. So it's a different range of fields. So if we pick, let's say, 10 billion years ago, that's a long time, and in a way that's a very high strength field if we look at the scale. And then in order to come to a sort of like finer fields, our measurement scale has to come down to, let's say, a million-year level. So that's a different range of fields. So from going back 10 billion years ago, just like the case when we deal with grass and put grass or seed, wheat seed in GANs, what happens? The longer we keep the seed in the GANs material, the further it goes back in terms of its evolution in time. And depending on how long it is kept, further it goes back. So we can shift in time by exposing the fields of the seed to different ranges of original field. So we can go back further in time, and as we know, the longer the test that was done, the longer it was kept, it became like grass, ancient grass. So in order to correct the situation that we have in the planet, we are being exposed to fields that goes back to an original state from where we can come to a better state. So the original state is such that we don't have this tendency to kill. Somehow this field of destroying other life forms to sustain ourselves became a habit at a certain point in our evolution in the past. Perhaps with the introduction of certain fields by whoever, it doesn't matter, but the change was done. Now, if we can start from a position which is beyond that time, a more pristine field, then we can come back to, let's say, a position where we live more symbiotically, actually helping each other rather than stealing from others' energy. So this is one of the things that Mr. Keshe was hinting toward, is that as fields are being injected at a very high level from the system, it is helping us to move through time to a point where from that point we can come back easily. So we are transmuting across time to a point where our fields are in such a state that we can make a choice to take an alternate course or alternate, let's say, a popular term these days is timeline. We can take an alternate course to come to a state where we don't have to steal each other's energy to sustain ourselves. So this is something very interesting so transmuting across time so that we can, it makes it easier instead of modifying our field at the level that we are at now, which takes effort and which is, people are becoming successful, but it's one way of transmuting to a different state. But going back in time and coming back to along a different, essentially we are creating a different timeline by moving back to the original time and coming and creating a new course of time or timeline. So in a way, what's happening is that we are in a very, a state closer to our original state that was created by the creator energy. And then we can make a conscious choice from there to change the planet and the inhabitant of the planet together. We create. And actually, Mr. Keshe explicitly talked about moving the planet into a different timeline or different beginning. It's the end of the current one, but the beginning of a new one. But the easier way it seems from what I have heard from that has been discussed in the Knowledge Seeker workshop is to go back in time and start a new one. And this old timeline or old way of doing things is completely removed because we are living, in that case, is a completely new environment. Or if you can call it a new earth or whatever, we can use any term, but basically it's an easier way of eliminating certain conduct or behavior to go to a higher energy state. It's the same thing as when we change, let's say, addiction. If we do it at the soul level, it's very easy. And in my experience, creating health, solving health problems from the soul level is also very easy. Like for example, curing corona, which I have done actually at the soul level, took like 2-3 minutes, and it was gone. So it's really very interesting to move in energy dimension and then come to a different position from there, from a more, what do you call it, purer state or high energy state. And so this is transmutation using higher energy field. one of the things that we are all trying to do, various things we're all experimenting with is to transmute ourselves to something else. Change a certain habit, change certain skin condition, change certain health situation that has been persisting for a while. So instead of wishing for the change, it is, instead of doing that sort of like horizontal movement across fields, we go to a higher energy state and then come down to the whatever energy state we want. It seems that that's the easier way to go about doing things. And this is an experience. I have some experience supporting it, and I also have noticed how difficult it is to go from one state to another in the physical dimension, let's say. So perhaps it helps everybody to explore another way of reaching the same point by moving back in time or moving to a different energy state and coming from there. I hope it makes some sense. And within that range, within a certain, within the 10 billion years, it's the scale is very coarse. So you move a little bit, you are a billion years away. But then we come down in energy state, and then instead of a billion, we can operate in a million scale. So finer, what do you call it? A finer level of details we can get to. But so energy level gives us this kind of flexibility. So you can traverse an enormous distance, and then once you get to the point, you can finally adjust your position to the correct one. So this is a very interesting way of looking at changing things or changing manifestation, changing what we wish to happen. So we can precisely tune our wish at various energy levels. So coarsely, finely, and anything in between. I hope I make some sense, and if not, I'll try to answer some questions. But we'll delve more into it as we do it. But and if we apply it, we will get more clues of how to go about doing this kind of things. So I hope this all makes sense, and I would love to hear other people's comment on it. Or
Mushfaq, yes, I think you explained it very, very well. You summarized very, very well the last workshop. You did a very, very, I think you explained it well, summarized well, and it does make sense. Makes sense the fact that it's much easier work at the energy level and go back in time doing this way where you connect with higher fields.
You guys hear that?
Sorry?
You got interrupted a little bit. Did it was on my end or your end? I'm not sure.
It's at your end, Moshfek. She's coming through clear here.
Yeah. Okay. I just said that you explained it very well. And you just remind me, for example, when we do rehabilitation with people, when I do rehabilitation and I study this method, I think it's a little bit like at the soul level. We're using movement. They are primitive in the motor cortex, like, for example, the eyes movement, right and left. It's a movement that you do when you're just born. And as we connected to older movement that we did since humankind started, you make the system working again at the original level, so you can get rid of a lot of we call in parasite movements, and the person starts to function properly again. And this is exactly what you say now. So we can transmute by choosing fields that are highest and strongest, so they are closest to the creator. So it brings us back in time, in that moment. And from there, you can then create your physicality. It is much, much faster way than, like you said, trying to change your self and your physical self from the physicality point of view. So it does very, very good sense. And you summarize very, very well for me, connected with the weeds, that the weeds became grass again, just by making it in contact with the guns, certain guns. So that is very good way of summarize it. Thank you so much. It was very good said. Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you, Stefania, my dear. Thank you so much. Beautifully you said. Thank you, my dear Moshfik. Yes, indeed. I also want to add that when you go through this transmutation process, if you understand, we understand that, like, the conditions, the energies that you don't need anymore, and the energies you are receiving in this new timeline. I mean that when you are in the now position, present, according to the universal law, the ethos of nature, it is the condition that is truly you, the true, your timeless true self. That causes this transmutation, as we are going through this maybe from beyond for this transmutation. And now we came in this position that we understand that really what we don't need anymore. So valuing, when we understand that, you know, like we don't have to ask anybody else that is it right or wrong? Is it right or wrong? You have to understand this from yourself, from inside you, as you are the whole book of life, always. So it will help in transmuting with the energies you want to transmute. Like, in this collective procedure, I mean process, and all humanity is working together, makes more sense in this transmutation. So, seeing with your own eyes the real form which is happening. Maybe the chaos is going on, like the world, So we have to come out. We are coming out of that. So this is beautiful indeed. Yeah, we are all trying. We are all focusing. We are all, as Stefania says, practicing. Yes, practicing is very much necessary. So connecting with the souls always, practicing to be in this focus of this, now moment, that what you need to be in the future. So you are the future self, you are the now, you wear the past. So thank you. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you.
Yeah, Masud, I got a question for you. So do you, I know evolution is a process of changes over time. It seems to me, and do you think that the evolution of our physicality always towards the future, but evolution of our soul tends to be towards the past? Would you say that? What do you think?
The way to think about it is that once we are familiar with the field, we are no longer restricted to the linearity of time, in the sense that going to the past or going to the future. The discussions that we were having is that we can move to a higher energy field, and from there we can move in another direction in a way. It's not a linear in the sense that we are on a line. We can take various directions. We can think of it as like you are in a spherical world, in a sphere, a reactor system. You can move anywhere, and then from moving to a certain point, from there you can go in any direction, really. That's
But the soul,
so it's not, it kind of breaks the familiar notion of linearity of time. We can go in any direction. So
understand, but then how do you, it's not necessarily linear. We measure soul in terms of strength. So if we need the highest and uncorrupted field strength, it has to go to the beginning, right?
yeah, I mean, up to a point where you want to kind of like take a new course of action. In a sense, you change direction instead of where we are now in terms of evolution, as you were, I mean, I'm using your word here. Evolution, we change the course of evolution completely. We are essentially in some other area. We want to end up in some other area completely different where there is no killing at all. No, none of the life forms are exploiting others' energy. So we are essentially resetting, in a way, you can call it resetting the time of the planet Earth, where this kind of habit doesn't take root. I mean, it can be individually and it can be collectively as well, collectively for humanity and collectively for the inhabitants of the whole planet, or even the whole solar system, let's call it that. And so we are no longer, we create our own time in a way. There is, Mr. Keshe talked about it, is a parallel time. Some people even call it parallel universe, whatever. We can use all sorts of words, but essentially we are moving in the field dimension. And the field dimension is creating the space and time. So it's a different way of thinking. I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit to get away from our conventional space-time idea to a position of energy, and then from there coming to space and time. So it's just, it requires a bit of, let's say, deconditioning from our existing way of thinking of past, present, linear time, and so forth. I hope it makes sense.
And Mashfik, you mentioned the fields being dynamic. And in that sense, when we feel the fields, it's always in the moment. You don't feel the fields that occurred a year ago or the fields that are occurring in the future because they don't exist in the moment. So it's a moment by moment basis. And so in that sense, when we go towards source, when we wish to get closer to source, that source of creation is not in the past, it's in the present. So it's not like it's built a whole past history and so on and so forth. Its history, its connection is in the present. And so to find source, we always have to be in the present and search from that point, not from looking in the past or looking toward the future, in my opinion.
But you remember when also Mr. Keshe said we have to go to zero time, and then from zero time we create any times.
Yes, exactly.
And when that man said that the zero time is the present, you remember the Spanish man in the Reactor group? You remember, Rick?
What's his Spanish man?
Oh, it was Brazilian, I don't remember, but he was saying for him zero time was the present, because we was discussing the fact that how we're going to zero time. I mean, the zero time also is the time that Mushfaq talk about when we go back to the creator. So the fields of the creators. And then
yes,
from
and
there you can create a
by
new
your
mind.
language, when you say go back to, It indicates going back in the past, but we aren't going into the past, as Mashfek mentioned. It from that point of view of that 0 point, there is no past and future. Actually, you access everything from that 0 point, from that inner place of peace and source.
Although he did mention about, quote unquote, going back to the future.
Yes, he mentioned that several times, actually. And I actually, funny that I saw that, I rewatched the Back to the Future movie last week before the workshop. And then suddenly he's mentioning the Back to the Future. I was trying to understand that movie in terms of, you know, the spiritual teachings and different insights that way that you can get from a movie like that.
The concept of past, present, and future has. I get your point, Rick. You in your presence, it starts as a 0 point. I get that, but in terms of fields and soul strength, the beginning, this main source, the source, we all understand from basic knowledge of plasma as the highest of the strength. And then as the ray moves forward and transition, it interacts with itself, it interacts with the environment, the galaxy, the planets, and all that. Now, these are all subsets of little strengths. So having that soul strength to go back to that initial source, because that seems to be our destiny, going to this mother, to the source. So it's always, to me, seems like we're going back to the past. Because we eventually will become the ancestors of our future anyway.
Well, yes, but isn't that ray you speak of, from the point of view of the ray, and the scientists are saying this now, that about light, to light, even though it's gone 1,000 years traveling in space, 1,000 light years, to light, it's all instant. There is no passage of time to that light ray. That's the modern science point of view of that. So in other words, that light ray, it goes from source to where it lands, whatever it might be on our planet. And, you know, that one ray went 1,000 years through space and finally landed on our planet. Well, to the light ray, it was all instantaneous. It left one point, it's at another point, and that's the point of creation for it, for its existence. It's now manifesting as slowed down light, maybe as matter or some other different kind of light energy. But to the light, it's all instantaneous. There is no passage of time to that light ray. So when we say we're going back to the source, it's still instantaneous. It's still, the source has to be gone back to in the moment, not by going back into time or projecting into the future, is what I would put forward here.
On this note, maybe that's why Rick, for example, no, this energy master, no, he said when people have become more sensitive to the fields, they will be able to heal people instantly. So maybe that is the same, because there is not going to be time. It's going to be, there is no time. It will happen instantly, like the light, no? And I want to make a question to you and to Mushfaq, because also he said something interesting. He said this was referring to my niece, no, that she's disabled. he said that the aim is to raise their chi, and when they say chi, I see as energy fields, no? Similar what Mushfaq said, and he said that. But the interesting thing was they say that she needs to have a lot of sugar and a lot of protein to be able to raise the chi, so then she would be able to walk. So I'm thinking, oh my God, sugar is CH3 and protein is amino acid. So apparently the sugar and the protein are the one who are the raising these fields.
Well, I would recommend the diet that I've been on recently for that in particular, which is the cheesecake fast, where you just eat cheesecake. And cheesecake has both the sugar and the protein built into it. And I find it actually works really, really well. And I've been experimenting with that. And it's funny you bring that up. But yeah, that's been my recent experiments. So I recommend you don't mix it with other foods and just do straight cheesecake. And for me, it works really well. My belly feels good the next day. My brain feels good, and I do a lot better than eating carbohydrates and other foods and so on.
But what about the CH3? CH3, that is pure sugar, and the amino acid. I was thinking if these people knew the plasma technology, maybe they will overpass the food. Because I don't know how much sugar you have to. I assume maybe the cheesecake, yes, is good.
You can just imagine the cheesecake then, perhaps. But then maybe you might deplete your body of some of the amino acids or something because it's not getting it, similar to the toothpaste conundrum. But that the CH3, and we've used CH3 GANs in the past, has been the indicator for energy, and that's always been part of the plasma teachings, I believe.
It's not interesting that if we talk about again what Mushfaq just said, that you have to connect these higher fields, then they will be easier than to then change the physicality. Yes, I think imagine the cheesecake is good because the away from the matter state, the faster the change, I understand, happen. But the CH3, because the carbon, the hydrogen, they're very connected maybe with the energy of the creator and the amino acid. I don't know if Mushfaq got something to say of this, or you got something to say, but it was very interesting for me.
CH3 and think, if you look at CH3, carbon is 12, right? And we have the hydrogen energy. So if we add these two, it's kind of like 15 level energy. So 15 is a transition energy between C16 and C14. And then there is C13, which is the transition between C14 and C12. So these are the emotions. In a way, it's a range of fields that transfer energy from C14 to C12 or C16 to C14, or this kind of things. So, so this is one way of thinking, kind of like a lower level. And then you have, if you think of amino acid, it's a star formation of C and N, or CN and oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen with hydrogen at the top. So, but in the end, if you come to it, the hydrogen and the carbon structure which is hydrogen is the central field. And the carbon is the field that creates the separation between magnetical and gravitational. And then you move between the two with 16 and 14. Then, the higher level energy you go to, essentially H and C, then you can derive all of these from there. So these are different, structures within the field. And you can create many different types of structures. Even our materials such as iron, gold, and all these are structured within the field. Gold is 14 times 14, really. It's very amazing that gold structure is a 14 times 14 structure. So C14 times C14, you can think of it this way. So, essentially the higher level field we go to, we can come down to various structures, various material and various protein or sugar structures to what we need. But the ability to work with higher energy, like carbon-14 or cosmic energy level, allow us the ability to use different structures easily, instead of getting bogged down by, let's say, carbon, hydrogen, iron, copper, and all that. At the soul level, all of these can be structured based on how we feel. So there we don't have to worry about, forgive me, Rick, your cheesecake, but you can make your whatever kind of cheesecake you want. And we have the choice. And the cheesecake has another interesting element. It has the salt structure, the salt structure within it, which gives it the gravitational field to hold it together. So we have all of these things that we can bring together to the physicality level, and sometimes it's good to see how we can bring together this in physicality. But once we feel it at the higher energy level, we can make any of these structures out of it. Whether it's gold, copper, or iron, it doesn't matter, rare earth material, it doesn't matter. But once we have the basics or the primal fields, the rest of it can be composed from the cosmic energy field. And the magnetical and gravitational separation is controlled by the C14 field. So anyway, I'm just trying to be a little more trying the higher level field with the various manifestation of the fields. And yes, these manifestations are important in terms of structuring our body and the physicality as we know it. But at the same time, the cosmic energy level or the fields at a higher energy level is important for us to recognize and navigate. This navigation, which is through emotion, is a very important part of our existing learning system that we are being exposed to through the enhancement unit and all the things that we go through regularly. I hope this makes some sense, but it's interesting that we can easily navigate between these things and more, let's say, airy-fairy or more abstract. It's not, nothing is airy-fairy here. It's just we are not used to thinking in terms of feeling the fields or emotion or the sensation that goes with recognition, identification, setting, and all these things in the field. It's not, we call it airy-fairy because it's not physicality, but it is as real, if not more real, than the physicality we are so accustomed to. I hope that makes some sense.
Yes, you do. That's why maybe Mr. Keshe make us, I think the next section is to make us fall in love with everything. Is make us feel the fields of the creator, I suppose. Okay, thank you, Mushfaq, Rick, and everyone.
Okay, we had, I don't know if it's the right time now to bring it up and maybe in the needs and wishes, but in we had a comment in the YouTube previously when we were showing the structure from the knowledge seeker. Mr. Keshe is showing us the structure from the knowledge seekers workshop of the transmutation going on in the fields. And JOL Didgeridoos comments that that same structure appears when I play two didgeridoos simultaneously through digital cymatics and a laser reflector. So that's interesting that through some technology that the musical instrument of a didgeridoo, when playing two of them simultaneously, produces a similar or same structure as what we saw in the Knowledge Seekers workshop. Well, thank you, JOL Didgeridoos, for that info.
Maybe you can play the
Yes, thank you.
didgeridoo in the Reactor group, Rick, if they come in and put that topic up for you.
Thank you.
Sure, that would be welcome in the plasma reactor group. That kind of experiment we definitely welcome. All right, shall we move along to our next section? Is there anything else to be said?
Yes, all the love always. Always, always. Thank you. In the now moment.
Speaking of transmutation, I think we have Mark can invite us to the next session. Session of the transmutation test.
Rick, I sent you something from the 603 that I thought we were going to be able to present. It's just a small reading that we can do. It's in your Telegram. I don't know if we have time.
Yes, I see that. Would you like to read that, or?
Yes, if you could put it up on the, if it's possible to put up on the screen.
Second here.
Reminded me almost of an infomercial they used to play on the television when they were trying to sell you or offer you a certain items or something. I think it's got to go a little bit bigger. Okay. And again, we've offered you the ID card. This was kind of long of those infomercials. Not only have we offered you the One Nation ID card, and not only have we offered you the One Nation computer network, plus the Keshe coins and the cosmic ray balls, the Enlightenment game is included. This is part of the offer. And of course, to connect the stores to the whole process. But wait, there's more. And let's see if I can just read this. Very soon, we'll be joined by a race. And of course, Mr. Keshe alluded to this, I think, in the beginning of 25, where he said, perhaps in 26, we're going to introduce you to members of the universal community. And you may even experience that in the transmutation test. Very soon, we'll be joined by a race which brings the knowledge to man the man could not even imagine exists. It will change our dimension of understanding of the creation. They'll bring new emotions to man, and they'll bring us a dimension of knowledge which we don't even know exists. It's not even in our imagination that such a thing can exist. And this process will be, it will bring with it new dimension, and with it, it comes an elevation of this, what we call the soul of the man. It's part of what is about to happen. And you know what we say, part of it doesn't happen tomorrow, but it's part of the process. It needs, and you know, in that process, and it's just to do with human race and with this part of the universe. It's like when they say, you see, they tell us there's a meteorite in the solar system. It's coming towards us. There is an energy pack which is on the way towards this universe, which will change the vibration of it, the conversion of it from the universal energy to our universe energy. It will create a ripples of fields which will enlighten the whole of this universe. It's another process. It's not just Earth that gets hit by meteorites or by energy packs from outside. We'll receive an energy from the process which is happening in the process of the creation of the unicos. And that will bring us another enlightenment. And partially the reason we teach is knowing that this is on the way. And then it comes together, because that will take you to the, let's say, one step that will bring the whole of the knowledge, the whole of the understanding of the life in this universe 2, 3 steps higher. In a process, you won't even feel it. It just hits you in the question mark. And you understand this. It couldn't understand it yesterday. There was a couple words missing there, but again, there's more to this offer. And we can go back to the offer for the transmutation. And I think he did also allude to, in some of these transmutation sessions, you may see or meet or interact with members of the universal community. But the transmutation invitation is basically to keep the Keshe Foundation free for humanity, that they can develop. And what we're seeing embedded into the workshops, the feeding and other things that are going on is probably coming out of this. Yes, the systems were developed by Keshe Foundation. This is part of a larger group, which is open to everyone. And this is helping to perfect the system. And this is, I believe, what you're seeing happening in the Knowledge Seekers Workshop, where certain things have become embedded within the workshop that just by listening, you may have a change in different dimensions of your life. So again, if you want to keep the Keshe Foundation free for humanity, not have to go to corporations where they look for billions of dollars and then tie you up with research upon research or reconfirming, this is the way to keep the Keshe Foundation free, and in a way to protect the interests of humanity. This is what we're doing. So you're all invited. Again, I don't believe there are any preconditions to coming in other than the noise, but he's even addressed that, as he said, some in the unit, even though people do make noise, we have to, in a way, get used to that, because the universe is a very, I guess, it's quite a noisy place with all the emotions and the communications going on. So again, this is just helping us to become enlightened and for the Keshe Foundation to test more and more. As Stefania said, we don't get a lot of feedback, but usually we do get thanked, and also confirmation that things in the system are being recorded, and that's confirming some of the understanding of the team and the technology and helping it to develop further. So that's basically the process. And perhaps you may receive a small gift on the energy level through this process as well. So you're all invited, again, to keep Keshe Foundation free for humanity. I think that's it, Rick, unless someone else would like to add to this. I know we've gone quite a long session today, but you're welcome to contribute if you'd like.
Tender had asked about Mr. Keshe must have already met members of that specific race. If I may ask, where, when, and how? She says. I don't know if we can answer that.
Well, we do know he has appeared before the Universal Council of the Universal Community, as he's explained this a couple of times, where they wanted to, in a way, they sort of wanted to give up on this planet, but Mr. Keshe pleaded our case and asked for more time, and, you know, the Universal Community, or their council, I guess, agreed to allow this process to go forward. We just needed a little bit more time to correct. But yes, I'm sure he's in touch, and they're also welcoming the birth of this new child, or this new dimension on this planet. And as he said, when you're setting up this grid mesh, he said, we need to create this mesh. We needed 10,000. This mesh would be created across the universe. So I'm thinking even those who are traveling in craft, who may want to come here, and even if they're past the speed of light, it still could take decades. So perhaps they'll be part of this, and even bringing them here, or us going there. And again, we're opening up a whole new understanding here of how we can move and travel across the universe in the dimension of energy, and then manifest physicality if so desired. But in these transmutation tests, you may meet one of these creatures or entities from a different dimension, or even the same dimension.
Tender mentions or asks, and is this the same race that Bashar, Daryl Anka, has spoken about when he calls the Yashil or Shalanaja?
Well, we know the Universal Community has been here. They've always been here. They're hiding in the clothes of the man. I know Mr. Keshe said the same way he is, sort of. But they're a little too shy to show themselves, because we're not peaceful. And we're still. So part of this process is to bring us to be peaceful, that we can interact. And as he said, the knowledge that these races, or even, you know, he talked about a whole civilization in the Universal Community just specializing in amino acids. Another civilization just specializing in moving planets. I remember that as well. So again, we have so much more. We're coming out of the village and into the big city. We know that in the village, maybe there's a dance on Saturday night, or a bingo game, and there's just a few things to do. But as we go into the big city, we'll find there'll be a lot of games to play, and a lot of civilizations playing different games, not to the detriment of the others, but to the development of the knowledge, to the elevation of the others.
That's a good way to put it, Mark.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's move along here to our needs and wishes.
Thank you, my dear. Beautiful wishes according to the needs, my dear beautiful soul. So, the wishes. We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East. Now, we are present. Our wish is our command. Is there another wishes? Rick? Yes, the wishes. Okay. We, the Universal Council, wish and offer our souls for the elevation of energies and conditions for the protection of beings who are in the affected areas of earthquakes, mudfloods, landslides, volcanic eruptions that are going on in the whole world. Our wish is our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Shweta, would you like to read the last wish? Or perhaps somebody else, maybe she's busy.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of our brothers and sisters of India and Pakistan for peace and enlightenment now. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
Hello, Rick, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we hear you now. It's all
Thank
all
you.
good,
I
Mark.
apologize,
Yeah.
my dear. The internet has been down for a second.
Okay, well, Mark read the last
Yes.
wish here.
Now we can go to the next presentation. Oh, there's a wish. Okay. We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the brothers and sisters of Pakistan and India to be in peace and enlightenment now. we are present. So here we are to serve, to not to be served, my dear beautiful souls. And in this now moment, this is really happening. The ancestors are now not there. The new is beginning from inside you. So thank you. Thank you again. And welcome, welcome, welcome to the Institute organization. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the universal way of living. Welcome, welcome to the ethos of Mitra. Other in this lovely space of love. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here always, beautiful souls, always.
All right. Thank you, Sweta. And of course, thanks to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for presenting today's workshop, which
Yes.
is now coming to a close. It's the 390.
Thank you, my dear. Can you hear me?
Yes,
now?
we hear you now. Yes. Let me carry on. I'll just finish up here. Our 392nd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. That concludes our workshop for today. Our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which I hold every week starting Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central European Time, which is the same as 10 p.m. today on Tuesday in Pacific Time. So folks are interested in learning more about the plasma technology, or perhaps you have something you'd like to show and tell, that's a good place to show your newest invention in the garage and in plasma technology. We would welcome it. And any questions or things you'd like to discuss is a good place to do that. Again, starts at 7 a.m. in Central European Time on Wednesday, the 20th. And of course, we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up once again, always on a Thursday and almost always at 9 a.m. Central European Time. And of course, that will be with Mr. Keshe, and we look forward to the latest info and teachings from him. Okay, I think that pretty much
Rick,
wraps
can you hear
things
me?
up. Yes,
Rick,
indeed.
can you hear me, my dear?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, thank you. And quick, in the now moment, clap, clap, and dance. Thank you. Thank you so much, beautiful souls.
Thank you, Sweta, and thanks for introducing our last part of the workshop, our Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. And thank you, everyone, for attending today's workshop. And thank you, Mark, for being co-host once again. And bye for now, everyone. See you in the next public teaching.